cut and move stuff around. Like,
Yo, what's good, all cats and kittens out there? What's going on? This is the Good and Terrible Show. My name is Travis.
my name is Mickey.
You always slow on that every single time. And we have another good episode for y'all today. Here we go. It's another One Gotta Go. All right, you can see I'm kind of dressed in a little funky, fresh, psychedelic hip hop swag today. That's what I'm trying to go for here. What we're going to do is the age old epic battle every single hip hop head has ever had in their entire life. Okay, we are judging the Mount Rushmore of hip hop. Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, Tupac. That's the big four, and one of them is gonna get eliminated today.
Mm.
And as we go on, you're gonna find out exactly which one. So neither of us have told each other what our answers are. So
Mm.
that's another little surprise. We're gonna find out from each other who we're about to eliminate. And with that said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do similar to like what we did if you guys saw the episode when we did the original Kings of Comedy. We're gonna do process of elimination. We're gonna tell which ones we're gonna keep at each level and why, and then eventually gonna get to the one that we gotta let go. Now it's not to disrespect any of the four artists. They're all legendary and we all fans of all four of their music. But the rule is one gotta go, so we gotta judge the weakest link. So how you wanna do this, Mickey? You wanna go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first. This is
Okay.
such a tough. It's like choosing one of your kids. Like, which one do you want to save, and which one do you want to?
Which one of your kids that even though they're all older than you?
Um. So first to not go anywhere will be Biggie. He's definitely not going anywhere. The Notorious B.I.G. There's no way I would let him go. That's my first not to let go.
I agree. Actually, that's you know what the first one that I got to keep on the board. Absolutely must stay, no matter what happens. It's got to be Biggie. Biggie Smalls. I said before on one of our episodes, I think he's the most complete rapper that's ever lived. That's ever been in the game. I mean, he gave you versatility, flow, rhyme scheme. You know, the beat selection from everything was just at 10 with Biggie. I can't pick any flaws with him. So he stays on my list. Both of us choose Biggie. Yeah, I agree with you.
That's funny. We both chose him first, but he's both our favorite rappers. I
Yeah,
think. Yeah. So.
you
Hmm.
know, he's
Mm.
got to stay. He's got to stay.
You got it. You can't go nowhere. You want to go next for yours to keep?
Yeah, why not? You know what? I think the second one that has to stay is got to be Jigga Man, Hove himself, the man with 1,000 nicknames. Um, I think when you look at the complete picture in terms of your career, your body of work, nobody's touching Hove. I think even if he's not your favorite rapper
Mm-hmm.
of all time, I think it's undeniable to say that he's had the greatest career of any rapper in hip hop of all time. I mean, most artists are lucky to have one or two classic albums in their entire career. Jay-Z's had at least four. There's at
Oh
least
yeah,
four albums
if
that you
not
can
more.
call classic albums, right? You had Reasonable Doubt, you had the Black Album, you had Hard Knock Life, you had the Blueprint. A lot of people even go as far to say American Gangster is a classic album. You know what I mean? Like you can just go down the list. My man, his career is untouchable. He's got to stay for me.
Yeah. My next to stay will be Tupac. And the reason why is because I had this kind of back and forth about it. Of course, Biggie and Tupac are always like the two that are matched up against each other that got cut down in their prime. They really didn't get to expand their careers much because they were murdered, of course. But the potential of both artists, I think, were very great. Tupac to me is important to, I think, our culture. Um, this style, his sound. He was very intelligent, but he had that. He's like the perfect what I think women would call like the perfect roughneck. He was like he was educated, and of course he was very attractive. So that adds to it a little bit too.
I
Um,
feel like I was gonna say I feel like most girls that Tupac fans because they had a crush on him. That's really what it came down to.
It is, but then if you go more behind that and put more depth out, you'll see like watching the movie, watching All Eyes on Me kind of showed you, which I like that movie. I don't know why a lot of people didn't like
It wasn't a bad movie.
I didn't think it was bad. I enjoyed Biggie's um movie better, but
Oh yeah. Oh, Hypnotize. Yeah,
yeah,
that movie was dope.
but I don't know if it was the actor choice as far as the lead, as far as Biggie or Tupac, but I enjoyed both movies. But Tupac for me, I think like the the lyricism, um, his flow, like you said with Biggie, like or with Jay-Z, like beat selection to our culture. I think if you took him away, we would lose a lot of pivotal moments and just feelings that we had. Like I was looking at I love videos. I was looking at California Love. I didn't know Jada Pinkett came up with the idea for that video. That was her concept to do the Mad Max Thunderdome futuristic video. That was her idea. And then Hype
Oh, I
Williams,
didn't know that.
yeah, I just researched it today. Hype Williams ended up directing it because Jada couldn't, but Dr. Dre asked Jada to direct it way before Tupac was even on the song. So, being a person that loves videos, California Love was one of my like top 10 videos. I was trying to find out how much they spent on the budget for the video, but
That was a really good video. I doubt it was honestly that expensive, mostly because I feel like they probably just rented out some dune buggies and drove around the desert. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Which, I don't think would be super expensive. Uh, Quick fun fact, Michael Jackson actually holds the record for most expensive music video ever made, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's been broken. That's the one he did with his sister Janet, Scream,
oh
in
yeah.
like 95, 96, something like that.
What was the budget? Or what was the
Oh, something ungodly. It was crazy, crazy budget. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I know it was the record. And as far as I know, I don't think it's been broken.
probably not. I wonder if it was like the editing or was it just the um because I mean, even the wherever they did the set at, it was like it looked like they were in space, but that makes sense. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it was real futuristic. I mean, the set alone probably was crazy money.
yeah,
Um, and I think a lot of not to knock, you know, anybody for whoever they like, but I think I noticed a lot of women also like Tupac because he had like a handful of song choices that like was specifically geared towards like advocating for women, speaking out for women, different things like that. He had Brenda's Got a Baby, he had Keep Your Head Up, he had Dear Mama, he had like all them songs.
yeah,
So
you can't, yeah. I'm
I
sorry.
feel a lot of women, if I see one more girl post an Instagram meme with that Tupac quote about you know since a man can't make one, he has no right to tell a woman where to create one or something like that. Them
It's
song
true.
lyrics from Keep Your
Yeah,
Head Up. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of if I got to see that quote one more time.
because it's a it's a true quote. It's very true.
Oh well,
It's
that's
very
another episode.
yeah. And another fun fact, I always wanted a nose ring because I loved Tupac's nose ring as a kid, and I couldn't get it till my mother did not allow piercings and tattoos. So as soon as I was of age, bow, got the
My mother was the same way. You know what? A lot of dudes made fun of Tupac for that nose ring too,
yeah,
back in the '90s. I never wanted a nose ring, but I did. I was a big baseball fan. And Ken Griffey Jr. was one of my favorite baseball players, and he had an earring. And I always wanted to get like one of them earrings too. I had like this little for like 2 days. I had like this little gold clip-on earring. I think it was in the left ear. I don't remember what it was. My mom found it one day and threw that joint out immediately. Immediately.
you bought a clip-on hoop earring.
I don't even remember where I got. I don't even think I bought it. I was a kid. I don't even remember where I got it from. I just got it from somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
I think I don't know. I honestly don't remember how it came into my possession, but I had it. I had it for like 2 days, and then that joint got tossed out.
Oh,
Never saw it again.
oh, look at this. Get that out.
Made the mistake of wearing it in front of her.
Trying to
He
stunt.
said, "Wait, Travis, come here for a second." I was like, "What? What's
Lean
up?"
in real
Forgot it
quick.
was in my ear.
Give me that. Sure.
Yup, exactly how it went.
All right,
Mm.
what's your,
All right, who's? No, we rotated. Remember, I gave the last one for who my second one got to stay is who you got to stay for your third.
oh, I thought I just went. I just said Tupac.
Yeah, because I said Jay-Z.
Yeah, so now it's your go. Yours would be the third.
You went first, then I went second because you said Biggie, then I said Biggie, then I said Jay-Z, and then you said Tupac. So now it's your go.
Oh, touche. I thought it was your go.
See, I pay attention. I get a ran. No, all right.
I didn't know what you were doing. I was like, what? What's happening right now?
You don't
So,
remember the Tupac dance in the
of
video?
course I do. There's a
Oh
gym
my
for it that I
gosh.
use all the time. I love that video too. But my next one to stay, this is like pulling teeth. It's gonna be Jay
So
Z.
wait, who's down? You got Nas and Jay-Z left, right? Ooh,
Jay Z.
ooh.
I have to pick Jay Z. I've been muddling over this for the past how many days we've been talking about this topic. I'm like, man, who? Yeah, Jay Z. I cannot get rid of Jay Z. Jay Z to me, especially after, and I don't like when people say there wouldn't have been a Jay Z without Biggie. I think they both, of course, they coexisted together. But like you said, Jay Z's longevity in the game as well as his impact, um, especially now in his older age. Like if he jumps on a song, his verse is automatically gonna be like, something pivotal. Like he's not just like a lot of rappers I feel like are trying to keep up. He's always himself and he's been himself throughout his whole career. Um, American Gangster is definitely a classic album. I know you brought that up.
Oh
And
yeah.
I just can't. He would mean so much to me, like his catalog, to just take that away. I can't take
Too
it.
much. Just, I mean, he's like the ageless wonder, man. He's stayed relevant longer than anybody else in hip hop history, man. Maybe LL Cool J might be the only one that stayed relevant about the same amount of time as Jay Z has.
Yeah,
And you know what? I don't think he gets enough credit for his versatility. He's one of the most versatile rappers I think the game's ever seen. His style has changed. You go through every single Jay-Z album. He's had what, however, like 13, 14 number one albums. You go through like all of those, almost every single album is different than the last. Like
yeah,
there's a lot of rappers you hear where it's like, oh, this is the same thing that he put out before. Jay-Z, almost every single album is completely different.
yeah.
Like Reasonable Doubt was different than In My Lifetime, Hard Knock Life, Volume 3. You go down the line, Blueprint, Black Album. They're all different. American Gangster,
Like the
and even some of his albums that people don't really show that much love to. For example, like critics really didn't like Blueprint 3 when that came out, like 2008, 2009, somewhere around that time frame,
yeah,
whenever that came out. I actually really liked that album. That was one of my favorite albums of that time frame. Like I was a big fan of Blueprint 3, even though a lot of people didn't like it. So I mean, even his quote unquote misses are still better than a lot of other rappers uh makes. And I disagree. I think you brought up a good point. A lot of people say there would be no Jay Z if Biggie didn't die. I don't think that's true because Reasonable Doubt came out in '96, a year before Biggie died, and that's still one of the most classic albums ever. Now, granted, it wasn't super popular when it came out,
right.
but people finally got hip to it and listened to it like, yo, this was dope. So I think Jay Z still would have been, maybe not the level he is now, but he still would have been really successful even without Biggie.
Yeah, and I think because they coexisted together, and of course they worked together, I think that shows you that they could both be. I hate when people think that one can't be great without the other. It's like why can't we all be, great in our own lane?
Right.
They,
Like the same argument, I agree. The
yeah,
same argument people be saying about like Aaliyah and Beyonce. A lot of people say
yeah,
like Beyonce wouldn't have been Beyonce if Aaliyah didn't die. That's the biggest BS I've ever heard in my life.
yeah,
Like Beyonce was already famous. Like what do you, she was
right,
already in a group. They was already making hits when Aaliyah died. Like
yeah. Same thing
Aaliyah
with
died in
Michael
2001.
Jackson as well. Sorry,
Huh?
the same thing with Prince and Michael Jackson, where people would compare the two. They coexisted together, and they both have classic work, classic
Well,
art.
yeah,
Yeah,
but that wasn't. That's just more of that's just comparing two contemporaries at the same time because that's like the same that's like a Beatles and Rolling Stones type of thing or a Whitney and Mariah type of thing. Like that's a little bit different. This is like this person wouldn't have made it if somebody didn't die. That's a different conversation.
oh, I got you because
Yeah.
they both had the same like career span. You saying or life?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like they were both in their prime at the same time. This is more so, uh, one person was famous and then they died, and then another person became famous, and then they're like, okay, well, they wouldn't have reached that if this person didn't die. Like, there are people that say, like, if Aaliyah didn't die, there would be no Beyonce, or if Biggie didn't die, there would be no Biggie. And I mean, if Biggie didn't die, there would be no Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? I think that's stupid. I
Yeah.
think both of those are stupid. I think both of them would have been super famous
They
without,
probably
like,
work
even
together. Yeah,
yeah,
they probably would continue to work together. I feel like Beyonce and Aaliyah might have done something, whether it was a song, you know what I mean? Like, and them coexisting and then one of them not being here anymore doesn't take away from the other person. So
exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, so this is the tough one, right? We down to the wire here.
Mhm.
I got Pac and Nas, and you know, so this is the tough one, and this is where I had to separate it, because like I said, I am a fan of both rappers, so I don't want anybody to sit here in the comments and be like, oh, you trash for that pick. Like at this point, when it comes down to the last two, it's more of a matter of preference for me, and I love both rappers, but I never bumped either of them as much as I bumped Jay-Z and Biggie.
Mhm.
So, but they still were in heavy rotation. I still love a lot of their music. And when it comes down to it, I personally related more to Nas's music than Pac's music. I think Nas, even though he's not my favorite rapper, I think objectively he's probably the best lyricist that hip hop's ever seen. Just pure from a pure lyricism standpoint, not factoring everything else into it. If you just go by like who's gonna give you, the best 16, who you give a mic to, and put a random beat on who you think's gonna do the best, I think Nas is gonna beat anybody in that competition. Um, Illmatic is arguably the greatest hip hop album that's ever existed. I personally like Ready to Die, but
Yeah.
Illmatic is a super close like 1A and 1B. Um, so to me, I gotta pick Nas over Pac, just because I feel like I would miss Nas's music more than I would miss Pac's music.
Mhm. Okay. You made the decision I couldn't do. I was like, I can't get rid of Pac. I just can't. And same thing you said for Pac, like no shade to Nas for me. I actually saw him in concert for the first time last year, and I was just like in awe. When he came to Eagle Bank. But I think because I listened to Nas more later in life and not in real time, um, Tupac had a bigger effect on me because I was listening to him in, I would say, more so real time than I was to Nas. Now, getting older, I've gone back because I had never, this might get slapped for this, I had never listened to Illmatic all the way through, probably
Ooh.
until about like last year. And I mean, like,
Mm.
start to finish, which is a terrible thing to say as a
I feel
rapper.
like not too many people really listen to every album start to finish these days anyway, to be honest. I don't be having the time. Like
I think there's certain albums that you should give the full like you should give the full however long hour and a half or whatever to actually listen to it. And Illmatic was a great album.
oh,
Um,
absolutely. I've
and
listened to it front to back.
concert, huh?
I've listened to the whole album before. So,
Yeah.
I, and I mean, Tupac was probably more relevant or more influential to hip hop culture, like the culture that is hip hop. I feel like Tupac was more influential than Nas.
Mhm.
But from a music standpoint, if we're just talking about music and not factor in, their social image or their acting careers or anything like that, you know what I mean, or like what they stood for in terms of political statements. Um, I just from a music standpoint, if we're going off their body of work, I feel like it's tough to argue that Nas could be beat, by Tupac in that regard. And another thing that I feel like people don't give Nas enough credit for is in the 80s, um, New York was hip hop in the 70s and 80s, because obviously New York was where hip hop was originated and founded, and then it kind of enhanced in the 80s with Run DMC, with Grandmaster Flash. Beastie Boys, LL Cool J, Kool Moe D, all those guys, going down the line. And then, the West took over at the end of the 80s, 88 around that time frame with NWA. And, Cube and Dre and all those guys. And then in the early 90s, they came out with, the Chronic album, and you had Snoop, you had Dre, and then Pac. Pac kind of, even though Pac was from the East Coast, for some reason he always got lumped in with the West Coast. That he started repping, California. He moved to Oakland, even though he was born in New York. He grew up in Maryland, and then moved to Oakland. But that's another story.
They just took him. They were like, he's ours. We're like, but he's actually from here. That's fine.
But oh well. But Nas, I feel like, helped rekindle the flame to bring East Coast rap back into the forefront before people like Diddy and Jay-Z and Biggie came along. You know what I'm saying? Because Biggie dropped in '94, and then Jay-Z dropped in '96. Even though Illmatic also dropped in '94, I feel like he was creating a little bit of buzz before Biggie came on the scene. Wu-Tang did too, because Wu-Tang came in '93, and then obviously A Tribe Called Quest, came out before them too. But it wasn't at the same level as when Nas dropped Illmatic. So I feel like he doesn't get as much credit for kind of rekindling that flame. So that's another reason I feel like he deserves to take that last spot.
Nice. Well, we're gonna get cursed out in the comments, so let's just
we want the smoke.
Let me get my my vest on, put my styrofoam plates under my sweatshirt because I don't have a bulletproof vest.
Folks, the rules are one gotta go. We gotta eliminate somebody.
Yeah, but
can't keep up for.
That choice you make could be like, what did you say? You said you're getting rid of who? No, I'm gonna take some heat. I know I'm gonna take some heat, but let us know what you think in the comments, guys. And we want the smoke, so we gotta defend our answers. We're ready. We're not.
Pew, pew, pew.
You can't come get us because nobody's allowed to go anywhere. So what you gonna do?
Right. You don't know where we live.
What you gonna do, keyboard gangster?
We said what we said. Well, with that said, we will go ahead and wrap this episode up because we got to go ahead. The Teddy Riley and Babyface video is coming on soon. We want to make sure we get that. Teddy, you better get your sound right this time. I know that this is going to get posted after the battle anyway, but just know we were here to watch that video too.
Wait, 2 seconds. Please tell me, because I didn't text you that night. Please tell me your reaction to the sound, because I was just like, okay,
bruh,
maybe they'll get it. I was trying to. I was praying that it would. It just didn't hit. It did not work.
Listen, my drink was in my hand. My outfit was on. I was in the living room just like I am now. I was dog. I had everybody say, yo, Riley about to come with some heat. Riley about to come with some heat. I was in the comments. I don't know if you was on it or not, but anybody who was watching, if y'all went through the IG Live, I don't know if y'all saw any of my comments. I was ready. I was there.
So fun fact, they don't show the regular people's comments. They only show, I think, users that have like either verified accounts or certain people that you follow. Because I said the same thing. I made comments, but like other people can't see them almost. I think they select which comments are like the top ones. Because there's, what was it, like 300,000 people on at one time? So I think they kind of 400. So I think they kind of filter it out based on like, verified accounts or like you got 100,000 followers. Because I saw one person that I follow and everything else was like all celebrities. So I think they filter it out, which is, I feel like it's kind of messed up. But we're not the important people, so I guess they're like, yeah, we don't need your comments. But but yeah, I was definitely like, okay, I had on my speaker, I was in the shower, and I was like, the echoing just killed me. It killed me. Like I'm trying to hear through the echoing, and I was just like, yeah.
But then when they tried to fix it, they made it even worse. Then you couldn't hear anything. So I was like, at that point, I'd honestly just take the echo because I could still make out what the song was with the echo.
Yeah.
It's better than no sound at all. I would have preferred that they kept going with the echo than just do nothing at all. And then everybody, because they had already postponed it once.
Mhm.
because Babyface had come down, with the virus,
Yeah.
so they had to postpone it once, and then they had to postpone it the second time because of sound issues. So it's like I would have just gone with it with the sound, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think the echoing, like you said, they should have just left it that way. But Teddy Riley literally had 47 people with him, and nobody was reading the comments. Nobody knew how to like. I was just my thing
How?
was unplug all that fancy stuff. I think trying to do too much,
Absolutely.
and it's not to just because I love Teddy Riley, not to discredit him, but sometimes too much takes away from what you're trying to do. Babyface was by himself with a microphone
He
and
had a whole stage, a backup dancer,
a
a
TV.
sound crew. You know, he had the whole old head outfit. Shout out to Spice Adams. I don't know how the hell, because he did a parody of that like hours right after with almost the same outfit. I was like, how the hell he get them clothes that quick?
He had the hair. You know, Spice Adams has all the old hair outfits. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I was pissed. I was going in.
Who you rooting for, Teddy or Babyface?
For me, Teddy. I love both of them. Um, but for me, there's nothing that beats that New Jack Swing sound
That's what
for
I
me.
said.
You know,
Yeah.
but and I had no idea. Some of the songs that Babyface played, I thought was Teddy Riley songs too. So I'm a little bit upset with that. Like Every Little Step by Bobby Brown, I thought that was a Teddy Riley song, but he just did My Prerogative. I didn't know. I thought he did like most of that album, but a lot of that was actually Babyface. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we hope y'all watch it. We hope y'all watch this tomorrow. Let us know what y'all think. If y'all think Teddy Riley's gonna win, maybe predict it, or it's gonna be after the fact. So we'll see. We'll see who wins the battle.
You
We'll
know.
see if the sound's working and the Wi-Fi is good.
Yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching the Good and Terrible Show. Tell us who you would have picked below in the comments. Tell us what your choices would be, and tell us why you disagree with our choices. Like I said, we're here for the smoke. We don't care if you disagree with us because you're wrong anyway. But if you want to disagree with us, go ahead and comment below, and we will make sure that we engage in that smoke with you.
Yeah.
As always, you can follow us on Instagram as well as subscribe to us on YouTube. As always, my name is Travis.
My name is Mickey.
And this is the Good and Terrible Show. Thank you guys for watching another episode.